guys, for tonight's video it will be a spooky story time video, and I'm gonna do a little bit of hair play as usual. I'm gonna twist and clip your hair. Okay, so like most of my shenanigan stories, they start out with me being in college. Me in college, just being, a silly, goofy college student. So anyways, this story starts off with me and my friend May. Okay, May and I were really good college students, really ambitious, really intelligent, okay? We wanted great things for ourselves. And we took our schooling and our education really, really serious, to the point where we were often very, very stressed out. So, of course, we had to partake in a little bit of gardening to, calm my nerves, relax us, a little wind down. So we needed something to garden with, like something to put the greenery in. So we would say, okay, let's go to the store. And because we were kind of sort of broke college students, we were like, we don't want to Uber to the store, we'll just walk. And for frame of reference, I went to college in Pennsylvania, in the mountains. That's where our campus was. So because of that, it was hard to get around, really. You would have to have a car. And because we were out in the mountains, basically, the Ubers were like a little scarce or expensive, so it was just kind of inconvenient. So anyways, we were like, yeah, we'll just walk. And the way our campus was, it was like up in the mountains, so we would have to drive down the mountain and like down and around in order to get to all the stores and shopping and everything. So it wasn't an easy walk, because you can't walk down that hill. It's like a back road type thing, no sidewalk. Like, it's dangerous to just walk down there, like through the entrance of how the cars would get to get in and out of the campus, basically. So we're like, okay, well, let's just walk and let's just take the little path in the woods. Twisty now. So we're like, okay, let's take the little path in the woods. And this path in the woods, like, people would take that to get to like the Walmart and all the shopping areas or whatever. And it wasn't like a real path. It was like a path that had been made over time from people just, from years and years and years of on the campus, and just using that little path to, go to the stores or whatever. And people would use that area of the woods. They would like walk into the middle of the woods. People would use that area of the woods to like go drink sometimes if they wanted, to go, sometimes if they wanted, or maybe to just go do some freaky things sometimes if they wanted, whatever floated their boat. But yeah. So by the time we chose to go, it was like, wasn't, I guess, the best time, because the sun's almost setting, and mind you, it's only maybe like 6 p.m, probably like 5 going on 6, but like, we're in Pennsylvania in the fall time, it's bound to, basically, like, the sun's bound to set early. I'm just gonna add this clip to the end of your hair to keep that in. But yeah, I'm like, the sun's bound to set early, but I don't know, we were being ambitious. We were like, we're gonna be really quick, so we go to the store, right? We go to the store, we get our stuff that we need to garden, we get a couple of snacks, maybe nothing too much. We had like one bag each, one little small bag, like nothing too crazy. We didn't like go grocery shopping there. So anyways, we go and we're like, okay, once we leave, however, it's dark now. It's like bright enough where you can like see when you're in the parking lot or whatever, I guess, but by the time we get back to the woods area to walk back up there towards the campus, it was dark enough where we definitely needed our phones out. So we took our phones out, used like the flashlights on our phones. Okay, so it's dark and we're pretty much quiet, because like, we're nervous, we're hyper vigilant, we're trying to be aware. We hear a lot of sounds of all like the animals, the birds. We know that there's deer. We're not trying to come in contact with any of the deer and freak them out. Then they end up freaking us out. Like, we're just quiet, just visually walking, trying not to fall or trip on anything, So we're walking, and then eventually she whispers, she was like, there's a man up there. And I'm like, what? And so I look up to where she's looking at. I look up to where she's looking up at, and I'm sure enough, like, I see a figure. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, are we gonna walk past him really quickly? And it's kind of early in the day, even though it's evening. Like, I'm like, let's just walk past him as quick as possible and, get out of here. Get in and out, go do what we need to do, what we came to do anyways. So she's like, okay. So we walk in, and as we're walking, obviously, like, our hearts are beating. I'm definitely quiet now. Like, I'm not saying anything, because, like, if we say anything more, we're getting closer to him. He's gonna, like, hear our conversation. So we're quiet. I'm pretty sure. I'm nervous. I'm a little scared. I'm pretty sure she was scared. Like, the energy was just like hearts beating. Like, 'cause we have to walk past somebody in the middle of the woods. Like, that's freaky. We have to walk past somebody in the middle of the woods. Like, that's freaky. So we're walking, and it's, we're getting closer, and we're getting closer, and we're getting closer, and we're getting closer to the man. And eventually, boom, we're like right on him, I guess you could say. It comes time for us to walk past him. So she's in front of me. She walked past him first, and as she's walking past him, I like tip my head up just to like see the interaction. I don't know, see if he's gonna attack her. I don't know, just pay attention, be aware. So whatever. I like peek my head up, because first, I'm looking down a little bit. I peek my head up, and I see her like give him the polite nod, that people do. And then as she gives him that polite nod, he just like stares at her like. And then like I walk past him, and then I look at him like, I don't know, I kind of just froze. I didn't even give him a polite nod. Like, that was my plan. Like, okay, I'm just gonna nod him or be like, hello, how are you, or whatever. But I didn't even. I just like froze, and then it was like I froze like for like a good second and a half, and it was just the look on his face freaked me out. The look on his face freaked me out so bad, like to the point I just like put my head down immediately, and then I'm like, we're like, scurrying along, trying to like walk fast but not make it look like we're running away. And so as we're walking, I'm whispering, I'm like, go, and we're walking fast, and she's like, oh my gosh, that was so weird. Like, he didn't even say anything to me. Like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know, but yeah, that was not a good look. Like, that was like nerve-wracking. Like, that was weird. Whatever. We're walking, and then she goes, we're getting closer to campus. Like, is he still like behind us? And so I look back, and then he was behind us, and he was closer, as if he had walked up a little bit and maybe stopped when I turn around. So I'm like, girl, it looked like he got closer, like he was following us. She was like, say, Sean, stop. I was like, I'm not playing. So then we're like basically at this point like speed walking, almost running. And I'm like, go. So now I'm scared, and then something in me just feels like it felt like he was on the back of my neck. Like, I don't know how to describe it, because I was I was behind her, she was in front, which was the bad decision. I wish I was the one in front. But anyway, something just made me feel like he was on the back of my neck, to the point I like pushed her, not to push her out the way, but I pushed her a little bit to like get her to go. And I was like, just run. And I just pushed her, and then we just started running for our lives. And as we're running, we can like see through the trees, the little street light, the area where our basketball not court, but the gymnasium, the basketball gym or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So like, always we're getting closer to civilization, we're getting closer to safety, and then she's like, we're running, and then she's like, is he still behind us? And I look, I'm like, I lied to you not, bro, he's chasing us. And I'm like, run, and I scream. And then like when I say like we were like on the track team, we turned into sprinters. We were really running, and to the point where it was like this little patch of grass. It's like this little patch of grass, and then there's the parking lot to the gym or whatever. Like, I remember like running and like leaping, like I was doing like hurdles or something over that patch of grass, just for whatever reason, like getting back to the to like civilization, get into that parking lot just felt like safety. It just felt like a safe zone. I don't know. But yeah, all I remember is we ran, and once we leaped over and we got to there, and we literally just ran all the way to the dorm, right? Freaked out, people looking at us like, what's wrong with them? Like, we just ran right to the dorm, went right to May's dorm room, and we're just like, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? I'm like, were we just chased by somebody? Like, I'm like, what? And I'm like, was he holding something in his hand? She was like, I don't know. I thought he might have had a knife, because I thought, like, when I looked him up down, he might have had something too. I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, we're like freaked out. We don't know what we saw. We like, did we imagine that? Like, you know, we're just freaking out. So then May's roommate comes in, and she's like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, so-and-so said they saw y'all running on campus, like, bat out of hell. Like, they're like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? We're gonna call May's roommate Sunny. So we're like, Sunny, like, you're not gonna believe what just happened to us. So we telling, you know, Sunny what happened, because we like gotta tell somebody, and we're like, do we report this? Like, is anybody gonna believe us? Like, you know, they tell us not to, you know, walk in those woods, that it's dangerous, but people do it all the time. And we're like, we're just like freaking out. So we're, you know, obviously telling her what happened. We're saying all this, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're not the only ones. I'm gonna call my friend Yum. Basically, you know, we're just gonna call her Yum. She's like, I'm gonna call my friend Yum. She's like, because they have a story like that's almost exactly similar to y'all. So we're like, what? So anyways, we FaceTime Yum, and we're telling her a little bit what happened, and she's like, oh my gosh, come to my room. So we go to her room. So then when we go to her room, she's talking to us, and she's like, we go to her room, she's talking to us, and she's like, yeah, there was one time her and the girls, they just wanted to be spontaneous, and like in the middle of the night they're like, hey, we're gonna have like a little girls night, let's do this, let's do that, but first let's go to the woods and like a little, you know, maybe like have a little bit of drinks there, just like, because I don't know, it's just, you know, college fun things to do, like they whatever, like they're off campus but technically still on campus, like, you know, just wanted to have a little bit of girls night fun on the weekend, like, you know, their way of partying. So she's like, yeah, it's like 5 of them. She's like, yeah, it's like 5 of them, and they're all, you know, in the woods, and they're passing it along, and they're paying attention, because it's like, she was like, it was like, you know, around the same time, like 4 or 5 p.m. maybe, like it's still bright out, but you know the sun is setting, and you just like want to be hyper vigilant, you don't want to get caught, and you also, you know, you never know like who's in the woods. It's the woods. So whatever. So she like, yeah, they all sitting there, everybody's chilling, and then out of nowhere, one of Yum's friends is like, she's like, was that man always there? Like, she's like, I could have sworn I just looked over there, that man wasn't there. And so then, you know, Yum looks up, and she's like, what man? And then she looks, and she sees the man that her friend is talking about, and she was like, yeah, like we would have heard like the footsteps at least, like it's in the middle of the woods, there's leaves, like things on the ground, yeah, like petals, all types of stuff, like you would hear like the crinkling of the leaves, basically, if you knew somebody was coming, like, well, not if you knew, but that would like warn you that someone was coming. So she's like, bro, what? So they like, alright, just be cool, and they could like see a figure, like it was like a far away person, like it was super far away. So like, alright, just be cool, and they're just sitting there, they're still passing along, they're like, should we leave, like what should we do, like how y'all feeling, like, you know, all the girls are like, you know, what are we doing, what's the vibe here? So anyways, alright, so they're starting to feel like a little uncomfortable, so they're like, alright, let's just get up slow, let's not look suspicious, let's just get up and leave, like could be anyone, could be the police, like they're like, we don't know who it is, like technically we're underage and we're not supposed to be doing stuff we're doing, they're like, let's just leave. So they just get up, try to walk away all slow, trying like don't want to look like they're afraid or anything, and they just all like in a group start speed walking back up there. And so then one of them is like, they like, Yum, like turn around and see if the person is still there, you know, after they had walked for a little bit. And so Yum's like, I turn around, she turns around, and the person is still there, but they move closer. So then Yum, like, she gets scared, she's like, yo, run. And they all just start running, and they screaming, and they run out, and then they run off campus. And so yeah, so then this story, we just like everybody starts sharing their stories. Yum told us about this boy in the basketball team who had a story like that with him and the boys in the basketball team was in the woods and they were going to the store to get food. One time they just wanted to use the shortcut, like they saw a freaky man and it was like he just popped up and he didn't say anything, he was just standing there looking scary. But in theirs that he didn't chase the boys, I don't know, like it was just getting around campus. So then the RAs get, I guess, like hear us and like the seniors and stuff, and then they're like, oh, y'all finally saw the man, like y'all officially seniors, like y'all officially not seniors, y'all officially part of like the campus now, you're officially a freshman. And we're like, what are you talking about? And so it was like apparently like all the seniors or most of them have had that same experience seeing that man in the woods on campus, like. And they were like, yeah, it's a rite of passage, like we don't tell anybody about it, like it's like a thing, like if you know. And then it's just been happening for years and years and years and years. And then apparently there was like a whole like true backstory about it. So the backstory, first of all, I was just like, what type of freaky campus is this where y'all just keep scary secrets like this and I'm just supposed to happen upon a man in the woods and not almost have a panic attack? What? Like it was just weird. But anyway, so the legend goes that for years and years and years, the campus is a pretty old campus. So like for like years ago, this story happened, like I don't know, hundreds of years ago, something like that. Like I said, it's an old campus, maybe like 100 years ago. I don't know how long the school's been open, but it's been open for a long time. So anyways, they're like, yeah, right. I'm being dramatic, like. But no, it is 2025, so if it happened in like the 1920s, that's almost 100 years ago. But yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, the story goes that like the campus had recently just opened, and kids have been going there for maybe about a year or two, so it was like a new college basically, maybe just open for like 2 years at this point. And then one year a girl freshman and a boy freshman goes missing, okay, and then the second year another girl freshman and a boy freshman goes missing, and then it just goes like this year after year after year after year. And then the people are just like, what's going on? And then the whole time there was this like wood area near the campus, and then like the campus was known for its wooding area and its trees and all that, and like yeah, like it's wildlife, and even us, like we would go and we would like go on little hikes, like it was known for being like a really nature campus even back then. So but yeah, back then it was a lot less developed, because technology, blah blah blah, it was new, so there was a lot more wooding areas. So yeah, the kids kept going missing in different areas of the woods. Okay. Then eventually there's one year a girl goes missing. The boy doesn't go missing yet, the girl goes missing though. So there was always a boy and a girl, but the girl goes missing, and fortunately her dad just happened to be like a really like rich guy or whatever. So he's like, no, he like pays investigators, he's like gets cool with like the police officers or whatever, or maybe he just because he had money, he probably was somebody important, somebody they respected, I don't know. But anyways, he gets cool with them. He's like, y'all gonna search for my daughter. So y'all gonna search every part of this woods, even areas that y'all haven't searched before. So that's what they did. They search, and then they find the area that we used to walk in. Then that area was like, it had been developed more. Like I said, they have like now, that's where like the gym was, and like the basketball court like inside the gym, and like they had and there was a big parking lot right there. So a lot of it had been torn down, but whatever. So but there was like this little house that remained abandoned, and like when I was going there, but during that time when they found the house, they was like, the house isn't abandoned. And they were like, how long has this house been here? How long does anybody know about this house? When this place was built, like when they started using the land, what's going on? They want answers. They can't find who the house is registered to. And then they go inside the house, and it's like a lot of like taxidermy stuff, and like animals like that. And they search the house, they don't find the girl. The dad, however, he's like, no, I'm convinced this house has something to do with it. Like, well, what's going on? Why are these kids going missing? Why is it normal? Why isn't anyone doing their jobs? Hell no. So they keep investigating, and then eventually the dad like pays them to be like, look, y'all just gonna sit here and watch this house, okay? So then the legend has it that one night, while they're watching this house, no one in the town knows. It's supposed to be like a super secret investigation, whatever. They just think, oh, they haven't found the girl. Okay, this boy, I don't know what's wrong with him. If you're supposed to use the buddy system at least, but he decided that he wanted to go walk through the woods to have a drink. And this is why on that campus nobody drunk Jacks, because he had a Jack Daniels in on himself, and everybody thought Jack Daniels was cursed. So anyways, he goes there and he just wants to have a drink. Okay. So he's having his drink, and I'm assuming, he gets kidnapped because they're sitting on the house, and then they finally, for the first night ever, after sitting on it for weeks and weeks and weeks, they see a figure walking up towards the house, and he's dragging like what it looks like a big sack, they say. And then immediately the cops just, as he gets too close to the house, the cops just run out, jump on him, yeah, he's like, get down, who are you? You do, this house belong to you, da 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 da. They open up the sack, they see it's the boy, they're like, what's going on here? And the boy like, he just hit me up the head, I'm like, I don't know, I was attacked. The boy's scared, he's crying. Obviously they're like, oh, so you're the kidnapper. And they're freaking out, they're like, what's going on? So there's all this commotion. Obviously the normal stuff happens, and then they're searching the area, because they're like, then that means if he came to this house, the other kids maybe have to be here. It's been happening for years, like what's going on? And they search the house, and just so happened one of the I guess detectives or officers, whatever they were, I don't know what they were called at whatever this time was. Yeah, so they go and they were like searching the house, and there's all this taxidermy stuff, and then one of them just so happened to like well, how you have those big deer heads? Yeah, basically. I don't know, I think they like, the story is like he fell and grabbed it, or he just so happened to touch it and grab it. I don't know. Either way, he grabbed it and opened a secret door. Like what? And that's where it gets really like disturbing. They said it was like in Jeepers Creepers. You ever seen that movie? Just like in Jeepers Creepers, in the first one, when the boy goes into it wasn't a basement, it was like a cave. He ended up falling into the cave, and he saw all the different bodies and stuff. They said they could see all these kids, that had went missing, people that had went missing just in the woods in that area, like so many people, and they were just like, what? They said it was so disturbing, the state of their bodies. I can't even describe what I read in the article. Yes, because afterwards, obviously, after all this chatter about it, we went and looked it up, and there was articles about it. Like, I can look it up now and actually find like the real like date and time for you, but like it was like it's a freaky story. So yeah, obviously they've caught the man, and he goes to prison or whatever, and then they said he like unalived himself in prison. Yeah. And so they said he unalived himself in prison, but then the legend or the story is somehow his ghost traveled back to the house, and he still haunts the woods to this day. And that's why he would just terrorize freshmen. But some people would report feeling like a cold breeze, or like getting like injuries, like feeling like they're being chased like us, and like falling down, hitting their heads, yeah, so freaking disturbing of a story. And I'm like, if I hadn't believed in ghosts and everything before then, I definitely obviously do now. Like, there's no way I don't, after experiencing something like that and seeing it, and I have a lot of other people confirm that they've seen it too, saw it too. No, that's not the only time. I also saw a ghost, when I was little, and I was having nightmares, and it was like a mummy man I saw in my nightmare dream, and I got so scared I opened my eyes and I saw him over top of me in my room, and then it was and then he slowly went away, and I was just like, I was like, what the freak? I've seen a lot of weird, scary stuff that I can't really explain, or sleep paralysis. I've actually seen a dark figure when I've had sleep paralysis. I'm so for real, I'm not lying. I've seen some freaky stuff, so I'm like, I definitely think ghosts exist. And I'm like, I don't know how that man is haunting the woods, but I saw him, my friends saw him, other people saw him. We all described him the same way. And on top of that, when we looked up the article, I'm gonna show you, when we looked up the article, the face that I saw, mug me, mug my friend, that was the face in the article of the man that went to prison. Like, I'm like, ghosts are real. Definitely. Okay, but I'm like, but do you have any spooky stories you want to share? You're not sure? I mean, it don't have to be super scary or super disturbing, kind of like how mine was, but they can be, you know, just like little like scary things, or you know, things that you can't really explain. Like I said, I've had like experience or like paranormal activity, like the movie where you're like you hear noises for a while and it's like, did that pot move on its own, like stuff like that. Yeah, I'm like, it's funny, those things do, I'm just gonna take your twist out and detangle your hair. I'm like, those things really do freak me out, but you know, experiencing them freaks me out. But then at the same time, I do like to watch movies where it has that stuff in there. Yeah, like horror films, so it's a little weird, but just tangle your hair. I freaked you out. I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention, but like I said, I went to a weird campus, obviously, because I'm like, where do they get off just keeping that information about the freaking, like the ghost story, like now you're a real freshman, you belong at this school because you saw the freaky ghost that terrorized us. Like, what is you guys' problem? Yeah. I'm like, okay, we should like, you know, I can make us some brownies. Yeah, let me make it up to you. I can make us some brownies and have popcorn up there and cookies too. We can just have a whole little smorgasbord of snacks. Yeah, and then we can watch like Halloween movies, like family friendly. We can watch Casper. I love Casper, and we can watch like Halloween Town. Yeah, stuff like that. What do you say? Since I freaked you out. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Let's go have a little sleepover.